how many of us actually understand that when we wear a Swiss watch, most of that Swiss watch, depending on the brand, is actually made in Asia, or namely China.
Most Swiss watches are actually made in China, and the reason that replicas often look just as good as the original is that they are made in the same factory.
Alright, so this guy is actually showing me some watches over here. Let's see what brands they have.
Wrongly claimed it was worth up to $86,000.
Could a TikTok leak from a Chinese factory really force one of the most prestigious watchmakers on Earth to slash prices? Rolex, the ultimate symbol of wealth and power, may be under pressure after explosive footage claimed that its luxury timepieces are being produced in the same factories as cheap knockoffs. And now, whispers of price drops are sweeping through the watch world. Is Rolex losing control, or is this a digital age hoax gone viral? Let's break it down. It all started with a flood of TikTok videos. Chinese factory workers giving viewers a behind-the-scenes tour of massive warehouses piled high with luxury goods. Louis Vuitton bags for $50, Lululemon leggings for $5, and now, Rolex watches, apparently fresh from the source. The videos claim, "We're the real manufacturers. What you buy in stores is the same thing, just 10x the price."
How much of it is made in Switzerland? Especially when the wording on it is so loose, right? The value only has to be over 60% incurred for it to be made in Switzerland.
So when you think Swiss made, you're imagining this bespoke factory in Switzerland with mountains in the background, with artisans working really hard to make exquisite timepieces. That's not the case.
This is a house or what? Or a shop? I hope he won't rip me off. Okay, that's like a very unique type of setting.
Tell me what the watch is, you criminals. So he took the watch off. That is f***ing hilarious. What a douchebag. Oh, it's a Bell & Ross. Yeah, it's no way it's that much.
Millions of views, thousands of comments, people demanding factory access. But here's the twist. Experts warn, these videos are more than likely selling fakes. Real suppliers for Rolex or Louis Vuitton would never go public like this. And luxury brands? They're furious, denying the claims, warning shoppers about counterfeit goods, and tightening legal control. But the damage may already be done, because once that seed of doubt is planted, it grows. Rolex is built on the mystique of Swiss-made, each watch a masterpiece of European precision. But here's what most people don't know. Luxury brands often rely on global suppliers, including factories in China. While Rolex insists its parts are 100% Swiss, skeptics argue that some components, tools, bracelets, boxes, could still originate abroad. The TikTok creators exploit this mystery, claiming that Rolex parts come from the same OEMs that now flood TikTok with dupes. And that's the problem. Whether it's true or not, the illusion of pure Swiss craftsmanship is starting to crack.
So how do they get away with calling it Swiss-made if most of it is manufactured in China? Well, it's a little loophole where as long as 60% of the total cost of construction happens in Switzerland, they can call it Swiss-made.
这个是原来的吗？多少钱？
这个1800。
1800。Okay, 1,080 RMB for Rolex.
Almost all of the movement's the thing that makes this thing tick, is done in China. And then they'll take one component that might be a little bit more expensive. Usually it's something like the rotor, the thing that makes it automatically wind. And they'll just slap that on and they'll make sure that that is 60% of the cost.
I can ship that to Europe and get a watchmaker to look at it. Don't even touch it, just look at it. Can I then legitimately say this is a Swiss-made watch?
这个打折的话多少钱？
给你1500，怎么样？1500。1500。
While he's talking to people.
The cost of the watch is fake news.
It's a very thin watch. Removes luxury watch during the interview.
Meanwhile, a brutal trade war between the US and China has turned up the heat. The US slapped massive tariffs on Chinese imports. China retaliated, and now some Chinese sellers are urging Americans on TikTok, don't pay Western prices. Buy from us. Factory direct. It's not just marketing, it's digital rebellion. By skipping the middleman, they claim you can dodge tariffs, defeat retail markup, and still get luxury quality. Is this economic propaganda? Maybe. But it's working. Because as tariffs rise, so does public curiosity and distrust. Let's be real, Rolex knockoffs have always existed. But this is different. TikTok sellers now offer super clones. Rolex copies so accurate they can fool trained jewelers, and they're selling like wildfire, $20 for a Daytona. $50 for a Submariner. No wonder collectors are panicking. If the average buyer can't tell the difference, why pay $10,000? And now, the million-dollar question. Did Rolex actually cut prices? That's what rumors suggest. Online forums buzzed.
That's the scary part. This is a good example of how cheap things are in China. And it's not hard to cross that threshold of 60%.
Now, it also has to be manufactured in Switzerland, but what does that actually mean? It just means that they have to put this little crystal on here, the lens of the watch. As long as they slap that on in Switzerland, they can call it a Swiss watch.
He has some other brands as well over here. So he said that he can give me for 1,500.
Massive protest in France. 9 million people on the street. Macron in France takes his $80,000 watch off under the table.
With whispers of silent markdowns on Rolex's website, subtle changes, slight discounts, enough to spark panic. But Rolex has stayed silent. No confirmations, no press releases. And that silence? That's adding fuel to the fire. Because if the world thinks Rolex blinked, even just once, it undermines everything the brand stands for. Scarcity, luxury, invincibility. What's happening now isn't just a pricing issue. It's a war of perception. Rolex sells a fantasy Swiss craftsmanship, heritage, elite status. But TikTok sells a different story. One where the luxury empire is built on illusion, where factories mass-produce the dream for pennies on the dollar. Consumers are caught in the middle. Who do you believe, the brand or the boots-on-the-ground whistleblowers? With iPhones in Chinese warehouses? So, was Rolex forced to cut prices? There's no proof yet, but the mere possibility shows just how fragile the luxury illusion can be in a world dominated by social media and factory leaks.
That's like a $2,000 watch. Yeah, that's it. That's a Bell & Ross. That's a dumb move because it's not even that expensive a watch. It shows what he's like, oh, I gotta take this watch off.
Today, it's Lululemon and Louis Vuitton. Tomorrow, it's Rolex. And the next day, who knows? All it takes is one viral clip to tear down a brand built over a century. In the new luxury war, the battlefield isn't Switzerland or Shanghai. It's TikTok. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns of scandals, secrets, and high-stakes drama in the luxury world. What do you think? Is Rolex hiding something? Let us know in the comments.